What's your life goal, and have you achieved it?
Yeah, I married you.
Aw, gross.
You really need to go out there and make sure the whole world hates you.
My butthole is all over the internet.
A fine wine, she keeps me in the basement and pulls me out when she needs me.
If I drink Sambuca, he's getting it.
I bought a case.
You can tell a lot about a person by the way their tits, pussy, or dick looks.
You come near my cheeks and it's not going to be a good day for you, homie. This is going to be special.
Welcome to the Two Onions podcast with Dani Daniels and Vic.
What's up, guys? I'm Dani Daniels, and next to me is my husband, Vic, and we are here today with Laura Desiree from Naked News. Hello.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. We chatted it up a little bit ago, I don't know, how long ago was that, a week, 2 weeks? Who knows?
I have no idea, no concept of time anymore.
Yeah.
Could have been today.
Yeah.
We have no idea. But yeah, and we hit it off, so I wanted to have you on and chat with you and, be besties.
We definitely hit it off, and I was feeling the same way. It's like nowadays, this is the only interacting we can do, right? So even a good Zoom call, I leave with that good, successful feeling like, gosh, I wish you liked me.
Are you an extrovert?
No. Wait, what's the one where you like to go out and be with everybody?
That
Extrovert.
one, extrovert.
Yeah, extrovert, right, because you're external. I try and put little, reminding rhymes to go with them. Yeah, I like to be out. I need to be out.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend Sheree DeVille, and she's an extrovert, and she said the same thing. She's like, just being on a Zoom call or going out in public, I just get recharged for multiple days.
It's true. It's
the opposite.
It's exhausting, but it's also so essential for me and who I am. I go crazy locked up. I just finished 2 weeks of total isolation, coming back to Canada from the US, and it was terrifying. I think I'm still reassociating with reality and the world around me now, because total isolation is not for everyone.
No. I've been training for it my whole life, but after this, I'm taking a nap. But I love it. It totally makes sense though why you're with Naked News, because you if you enjoy.
Yeah, it's been an interesting. I've been with them for only maybe 4 years now, but it's one of those brands, one of those legacies that you just hear about. And the more that I got experience on camera with Naked News, the more often I would hear when we'd be on location, oh my gosh, that thing is still around. Is Naked News still on? Naked News is still a thing. So I heard this 3 years ago, making it my last big push in the last little while has been changing that. So people go, I remember you last year. I remember you the year before, getting the name back out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. Do you do only their travel stuff or do you do everything?
Let's get right into it. I'm the lead anchor on the show. I say that with total confidence and pride in what I do.
Oh, yes.
I don't just appear on camera and read a teleprompter. I also write a lot of the content. I direct a lot of the content. I handle all the logistics for any of the travel we do, when it's, for the AVN, or whether it's for XBiz, or literally whether there's a swingers cruise that's going down the Danube River in Eastern Europe, and I have to go make sure those arrangements are all in place. I handle all of that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I saw your stuff overseas and I was like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. She's naked on a boat.
We did Alaska, which...
Yeah.
That's a little cold.
Yeah.
I know, and people should put it on their bucket list, because we were on this giant boat in Alaska approaching one of the first big icebergs that was visible on the trip. As the boat's getting closer, everyone that's there in attendance is jumping to the front. They want to see that beautiful reveal. They want the breeze. I took it the next step further. I took all my clothes off and just took in all of that iceberg breeze. It just hit me, and it was sexy.
And cold.
And the nipples.
But it's a sexy feeling. It's like nature is suddenly seducing you, and it's the biggest lover you've ever known. It's like this wind just goes whoosh. And I was immediately aroused. It was incredible.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, lots of travel. There's lots of things you can do naked, surprisingly. You get to learn to be real sneaky, though. Surprise nudity is one of my favorite things, trying to find a way to pull it off in certain cities. I'm always up for that challenge.
Have you ever had any issues, or you just unzip, just kind of
We were in Salzburg in Austria, where, of course, The Sound of Music is set. So it brings a very family-friendly tourist group. And we were doing a Naked in the Street segment where I believe I was asking the question, what's the difference between American women and European women? Whether you're flirting with them, whether you're fucking them, it was dumb, fluff, silly little piece. But, I had my tits out in the middle of this really nice square. I was just topless. I wasn't even naked, just topless. And I got scolded by so many fathers. Fathers.
I'm surprised because usually like Europe like doesn't give a shit about anything.
I know, right? I'm like, look at this statue right here, you guys. This statue has her tits out. Like, like her whole bush is out. So, I was shut down there twice, and then we just, moved to another square. No big deal.
I gotta give you credit because if someone yelled at me for being topless, I'd probably cry.
Weird feeling. It's such a weird feeling because I don't care how liberated you are or how confident you are, there's still that moment where your mind contemplates shame and you're like, should I be ashamed of myself? Oh God, this really is my lowest low. And then you go, no, fuck this. You've got a problem. That's not my problem. And most of the world shouldn't have this problem. So fuck you.
I love it. I love it so much. I want you to be the little voice inside my head all the time.
Like you have to know which one to listen to because there are moments, and I think that it's like the definition of living to find yourself caught between those as often as possible because it's about making decisions, the ones that are right morally and to the people around you, but also right for you.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
You got to listen to those, both of them, all of them, however many are in there, listen to them.
Did it come easy to you to just like be like, fuck this, I know me? Or is it kind of like what happened over time?
It's so strange. So I'm an identical twin, and growing up having someone who shares your exact body, your exact...
Girl or guy?
Girl.
Identical.
She's in New York. She's in New York. Funny enough, she lives there, and I lived there for years, but she lives there. And before all this naked news stuff, I was in burlesque. So I'd worked some strip clubs and did more traditional stripping. I also did a huge legacy career in burlesque where I toured Europe and made a name for myself through the States, doing a bunch of tours. And I was always comfortable taking my clothes off. There's something that's like incredibly affirming about it, not because, oh, I'm so hot. It's just like you can capture an intimacy with complete strangers in this beautiful way. I mean, I was always in love with it, but having an identical twin made it difficult because she started saying to me, Laura, I can't go to your shows because my partner might be there. And then he's going to be thinking about me, looking like you doing those moves. I should be doing those moves. I can't handle that, Laura. I won't do it.
It's a lot of pressure.
We're very different people because of it. So
is your sister like very shy and reserved?
She is such a good person.
So wait, is that different?
She is such a good person. She has dedicated her life to like naturopath, Chinese medicine, alternative healing, yoga, like just a saint.
So cool.
Well, one of us has to be, and that's her. And that's
I love that you got a little bit of both.
You got the devil and the angel, right? You're all good.
100%. She's like, she goes, yeah, remember when we used to do cocaine? That was so funny. I'm like, Sophie, like I had a major problem with it. Like, you might have been able to just say, yeah, let's do a little and go enjoy the night. That was not me. We're very different people.
Yeah, identical in look, but not anything else.
Yeah. No, exactly. But the one area that we are the same is our taste in people. We've had the exact same attraction for the same type of person. There isn't a specific type of person because I can't define it, but our whole life growing up being, crazy teenagers going to punk concerts in downtown Toronto, leather jackets, half shaved heads, whatever. We would always say, no, I saw him first. I saw her first. I saw that person first. You better back up. And it's been this lifelong like competitiveness. She's just trying to play on, a different angle these days. And
now I know why she didn't want to take her partner to your show.
There you go, right? There you go. And I respect it. We have a great relationship. now. You know, it's taken some time, but for sure, great relationship. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's an apocryphal story or not, but I've heard that some twins, especially identical, can have their own languages with each other.
Yeah.
Were you guys like that? Where you could talk and no one knew what you were saying?
It's when people are like, oh my God, we always just finish each other's sentences, and it's put on. You can tell they've rehearsed that, whether it's a couple or siblings. We actually do that though. It's weird. We also, this one's a little bit kooky, and I know people are going to be like, Laura's been huffing the tarot, but we've had the same dreams, and we can speak about it back and forth to each other, like filling in details that you would only know if you were inside that dream in that moment. So we've definitely had those weird
connections.
Yeah, it's awesome. But like, that's where the most intense mental torture ability comes from. Like, we can destroy each other with just one look. Now, when I go to New York, whether it's for work or vacation, whatever, I stay with her, and I can go out, have a wonderful evening, behave myself to the fullest, but I'll come back to her place and she'll give me a look like, you were up to no good. And it'll shatter me till the next morning. I'm serious. It's crazy.
Is she doing okay in New York?
She's doing good. It's, I look at me always making it about myself. This is why we didn't get along for a while. She's doing great over there. It's an incredible time. And I don't know how to say this without sounding like a complete psychopath, but the intensity that's happening, especially in New York City with how dense it is, dealing with a pandemic, dealing with a social and civil rights movement once again, it's like seeing all of this action just so packed into a city. Being there like I was 2 weeks ago was incredible. You have to love New York for that intensity. And right now it's just at full blast.
Yeah, there's definitely no place like New York.
And New York is one in its own.
Yeah.
Why is it so addictive? Like,
it is.
Like, Vic, why are we so in love with it?
It's everything. It's literally everything. I mean, Paris is Paris, and London is London, and Tokyo is Tokyo, but New York is everything, all jammed together in one spot.
And like, it knows how to make you feel like shit so deeply personal. And yet it also knows how to like suck your dick better than anyone could.
It's a toxic relationship.
Yeah, it is. It's like a toxic partner. You can't break up with it. It's just with you.
You can't. You'll always be in love with it. It'll always have a hold on you.
I'm surprised you're back in Canada. You're not still in New York. I'm surprised you snuck away.
I know. I'm a dual citizen, so I get really excited about jumping the border a lot and moving around. And, you know, I'm sure a medical professional would prescribe me something for this state of mind, but I think it's adventure seeking. And so I'm thinking about making a move back.
Ooh.
Permanent?
Like, I can't resist it any longer. It's New York City, and you don't feel inspired like that. There's a very specific kind of fuel and adrenaline that happens in that city, and it surges through you and creates some of your most desperate but also inspired personal contributions, art, whatever it is. And so I love it. You know,
it's definitely like the Frank Sinatra, like if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, because it's just got that vibe. Like, it's not an easy city, but if you survive, man, you can survive anywhere, any situation.
Absolutely.
Like Dani, you've had the dream. You've done art shows in New York City. Is that not the coolest fucking thing ever?
Yeah, it really is. It's pretty surreal. I mean, like anything there, it's just like, it feels like you're in a movie all the time.
Yeah. No, that's why I love it. Like, I seriously, in New York, I'll stop in the middle of a rainstorm and just swing around a lamppost and whistle and do some fun kicks and make out with the person to my right, whoever it is.
The first time I saw snow in New York, I made him take me to Central Park, and he was miserable. And I was just like, yes!
Oh, wait, Vic, are you a New Yorker through and through?
Yeah, from birth to now, yeah.
But come on, do you not get that bit of excitement saying, you know what, if someone wants to go do snow in Central Park, let's fucking do it, because it's the best snow you're gonna see.
I mean, it's kind of like taking a kid to Disney World for the first time, but you know, There comes a point in time where you're like, all right, I've done this for 53 years. Okay, I'm over the snow in New York City. Yeah.
And then you get the snow hangover the next day where it's all like black sludge. You're like, oh, this is reality.
That's the kind of day that Bob Dylan wrote some of his greatest anthems during. You know what I mean? The days that freeze you and chill you to the wet inner stone cold of yourself. My God, it's a bleak and sad.
Or if you step in the death puddle up to your knee and you're like, oh, day ruined.
Or that's when you realize that your shoes are cheap and they're done. There's nothing like that feeling of when it just like comes in the sides.
Yes. And you're like, is this snow, drinks, or pee? Like, I don't know.
It's really miserable, but I couldn't live without seasons. Like, I need East Coast in that sense. Like, I love having that full opportunity for like fantasy looks and wardrobe and like nights out that are just, they're different experiences when you have all the seasons.
I think you appreciate it more when it's scarce. Like, I grew up on the West Coast where every day is 70 degrees. And you're just like, it's great, but you don't really appreciate it. Where like, if you get a really nice day in New York, everybody's out. Everyone wants to do stuff.
It's very weather-centric.
We don't know when the next day is going to be, so let's go take advantage.
It's true. It really, really is. But fuck, don't even get me started on
I know, right? How did you jump from burlesque in New York to head news anchor?
Like, how did this happen? Where's the in-between?
So I left New York City to move back to Toronto for a relationship.
Okay.
Listeners, don't ever do this. Why do this? Move back for a relationship. Terrible thing to anchor a decision like that on. But I moved back and started pushing my burlesque more than just performing it. I wanted to create shows. So I did a bunch of different kinds of productions throughout the city. I took that on the road, did some Canadian work, blah, blah, blah. I start touring a lot as a burlesque performer and MC. I get a phone call, or maybe it was an email, from one of the anchors at Naked News who said, Laura, we really want you to come in and teach a burlesque class for the show. How to do a sensual striptease, how to, do all that poise and that beautiful femme fatalishness, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. So I come in and do it, and then they just somehow like seduced me into auditioning, and forget it. It was like, we actually have an opening for like a producer position too. Would you like it? I said, fucking stack it up. Let's go. So like, there was maybe 5 years in that time that I moved home back to Toronto and did all of my performance, crazy cabaret nightlife shit here, and then got back to like a real job and Naked News.
And now you're the head anchor, which is incredible.
Hell yeah. You're damn right I am.
Do you miss burlesque, or do you feel like you like quote got it out of your system, or do you feel like this is like you did everything you wanted to do and like this is a new chapter?
I hate this question because it's one that I need to answer for myself. Like you're so apt. You're right in here right now because I was trying to do both of those lives for a long time, right? Getting ready to be on camera at 9 a.m. and then still going out and performing on stage. And because I'm addicted to it, I love the production. I love the rush. Oh, give it to me.
And they have similarities, but just unfortunately not the same time of day.
It's like you burn the fuck out. So I'm at this point where I've got a closet full of shit, a trunk full of shit, a wig mountain, and feathered boas. Just like there's like a room that I don't open. It's the attack of the feathers and the boas. I don't open that door because I don't know if it is something that I can continue with. I mean, I know that it's an industry that's trying to elevate so much. It's a facet of entertainment that really wants to come back and pull big bank and live off of this career, but it's really difficult. And a nonverbal form of entertainment, which I realized is not my strength, okay?
Usually that's like for people like me who are shy
that like to not have to say anything, and that is such a fun element to it, but I don't know if I can live both of these lives anymore. I think I'm saying farewell to burlesque this year.
Do you have a favorite show you did?
Oh gosh. Oh, well, I used to run this club in Toronto, and I mean I was the creative director
Oh, very cool.
I like that.
So you're not
Good
just like,
title.
you're not MC.
It's a good
You're like
title.
doing the entirety.
No, I mean, we were in the depths of my love of anything to make me go fast, but I was creative director for this nightclub called Candyland, and I remember the owners said to me, Laura, we want police to shut this joint down. I want you to bring the most outrageous, illegal, controversial material you can bring. And so we would do a different show every weekend. We would do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it was a nightclub with a big stage, very much like the Box in New York. So they were fucking content. I ended up bringing a lot of performers from the Box to Candyland, but then we got weird. I had a great group of performers. We used to do nights like Tarantino tribute nights. So we would have, different acts. Some of them was a girl climbing up in the silks dressed in a Reservoir Dogs outfit, and then we would pin her down, and she would spin out of this giant aerial silk onto the audience, dripping blood.
Oh, so cool.
Nights where I mean, my lowest point was an act that had me as this giant pregnant housewife smoking a baby that kept vomiting at me. And I really wish that I was censoring, that this was not the truth, but I put that baby in a bathtub in front of me, and then I stood on top of this bathtub and like faux birthed this thing. And it was just like, I shaved my head on that stage. I pierced my nose on that stage.
Yeah, hold my beer.
It was wild. I fucked champagne bottles on that stage.
Oh my God, I'm so bad I didn't see this.
Oh, yeah, we never got shut down. Funny enough, though, about a month ago, that club, which is now under a different name and new ownership, did get shut down for having a sneaky late night 200-person private party, no masks, no social distancing. So
yeah.
That'll do it.
Birthing on stage, totally fine, but don't get together without masks.
Go right ahead and fuck the champagne bottle, but make sure you're wearing a mask and you're 6 feet apart. Okay?
That's what I'm saying. I was laughing my ass off because, we tried for years. I mean, like years of all of my cast being fantastically creative. All of us were thinking, how the fuck do we make it weird this week? And that was a couple years of my life. How do we make it weird? Let's go crazier, deeper, darker. And those were my favorite shows. Seriously.
That's so cool.
There's a lot of creativity.
Yeah.
A lot of creativity. It's not the norm.
No. And it's like one week we'd go from Marie Antoinette themed cake sittings and champagne bottle fuckings. That was in that show.
Yes.
To the next week we would do Mad Max, and I would take a big oil gasoline canister and pour it all over myself. Like, we did ridiculous shit in there.
I love that. It made for great stories.
It really did. People don't believe it. They're like, no, you
Yeah,
don't.
no one ever. Yeah.
You
Some people's stories, especially in our industry, it's like, okay, you're like, no, but really, like.
No, actually, that's
But don't you like require that for your entertainment? Like a touch of that? Isn't that a special thing when you can get like such a wide spectrum of reactions from your audience?
Yeah, exactly. And just like the collecting stories, like when I'm old, I want to have cool stories from when I'm younger. I don't want it to be like boring.
And then I ate
live
a salad.
fun
Yeah.
life,
And like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what? I tried a couple cool different Mediterranean dishes. That was my life. Like, no.
Yeah. One day,
Like,
croutons.
Yeah, exactly. The day I grated that cheese on it, though, wow, that was. Give me a break.
Yeah, that's the old saying, right? No good story ever started with, I had kale salad.
No, exactly. We're also done with this kale craze, aren't we? Like, is it just?
I hope so.
God. I hate it
I
so
hope
much.
so.
Give me Italian food. Give me pasta. I need
but-
carbs.
What nondescript leafy vegetable will be next?
Yeah.
Well, one of them is going to be making a comeuppance, and it'll probably start in Los Angeles. Some chef is going to wrap it around something, godforsaken, and this will be.
Well, like the cauliflower pizza that started in LA.
It'll be endive. That's my call. It's gonna be endive because you haven't heard of that one
I
yet.
know that all of that shit is healthier, but I've never known gas. Like after I eat one of these like really healthy diets.
Healthy. Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's that I'm built with like just bad toxins and shit. And this is like, you're putting acid through me, but
It's like flushing out years.
yeah, like I try and do this healthy thing. And every time I go for any like chopped salad dish, whatever, this is a vegan seitan, tempeh, fusion, whatever, I always get the most insane gas.
So not good for date night. No date night.
Never.
Never. Definitely not the. Yeah, you got to wonder, like, Italy's got one of the oldest populations in Europe, and they eat olive oil, cheese, and wine.
He doesn't wear lotion. He's like, my husband's full Sicilian. He does not put on lotion, and his skin, it looks great. I'm like,
you guys both have such beautiful eyelashes.
Thank you.
Is this going to be visual or just audio?
No, this is visual.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, people, take note. I don't know if it's just today, but they are immaculate, and my God, are they lovely.
I have a shit ton of mascara on. He just has good jeans.
You love butterfly kisses. They would get tangled if you two put your eyes together and like blinked.
They would. Super gross Hallmark movie style.
100%. That would be horrifying.
It has to be a porn genre, right? Butterfly kisses or something.
Yeah. Oh, there's a fetish for it.
Come on.
So are you doing your podcast still with Romy?
Podcast with Romy. Listen, we went 2 fantastic seasons, and thank you for asking, because I know nothing has been stated officially. We haven't made an official release on what happened, but people are starting to ask me because I'm getting comments on my new podcast that Dani, you were on. And the truth is we went 2 outstanding seasons. Both of us loved the project and loved working with each other. End of day, season 3 wasn't in the cards. People didn't want to do it. You know, maybe there was things, happened as they did. And so
well, you guys are on opposite coasts too, so it probably wasn't easy just to even coordinate.
I mean, I loved how many trips I took to Los Angeles. Let me tell you, there was some great production weeks that I lived at the Roosevelt, and I would step into my convertible after the valet brought it around, and I would drive with the top down, down La Brea towards our fucking recording studio with an iced coffee, a joint, listening to whatever California radio's on, probably the Eagles or
the Eagles. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's gotta be the Eagles.
And I don't know if life is gonna get better than that, so I'm missing it dearly.
Let's be honest. It's not the same as walking through Times Square and having a bum screaming at you in a language you've never heard of before, and somebody telling you give him $5 to yell at him.
Totally different.
Yeah, with a hot dog, a cigarette, and a big fuck you. Big difference.
But why does that also feel good sometimes? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's all about the balance. There is like glamour in LA, and I'll give them that, but there's just grunge in New York. It's good both ways.
Yeah.
Would you guys ever live in LA?
I did.
I
know you did, but would you ever say, what?
Oh, no. It's not my cup of tea. It's just, I lived there and I bounced around. I tried every area of LA and I just could not find somewhere that worked for me.
I'm a true New Yorker. I despise LA with every fiber of my.
Every time we go,
hate it. I literally hate it.
As soon as we land, he starts sneezing and he gets
cannot
allergies the entire time we're there.
Oh no!
And it's not a California thing, because I actually love San Francisco and I love San Diego and I despise LA with every fiber of my existence.
Your body rejects it. It sounds.
Yeah, literally. It's like. Yeah, and I was in and out of LA for a week, almost every 6 weeks doing PR there, and every time I went there, it always reminded me of the reverse of New York. LA, you start the day feeling energized, and it just beats the shit out of you. New York, you walk out the door a little tired, and you get hit with this great energy, and you're like, okay, I'm going to tackle the day. It's just, I couldn't deal with it.
What an interesting way to put it. Look, that's so apt. That's it.
Yeah, New York is, I always thought New York was really, you hit that street in New York, not right now, the second, but you hit that street in New York and everybody's moving, they're hustling, they're working their asses off. People are, you went to LA, I could never figure out what anybody did. I spent all my time trying to, what do you do? How do you make money? It's
I know, and that is the part of it that's just kind of, I'm trying to decide, would I want to relocate LA or New York, and holy shit, that's such a tough one to ask yourself when you're in this entertainment world, but it's kind of adult, but you're skirting this line, and who's going to take a chance on you for that late night talk show you've been trying to get forever, Laura? It's hard to know, because that is something that's very possible and has been successful in both of those cities. Absolutely. I know I'm more of a New Yorker though, deep down, I know that.
Well, if
give
you
me
want
New York
seasons,
vibes.
yeah, you definitely have New York vibes. If you want seasons, obviously you have to pick New York. If you want the better weather, I mean, LA does have better weather than New York.
Did I hear you say late night talk show? Is that your dream job?
Yes, it is. And I think everyone at every point in their life should still have a dream job. Okay.
No, I'm not against it. I'm 100%
I know
for it.
when I grow up, but when
I love it.
like, that's literally the dream. And honeys, it took me a while to figure out what it was that, you know, I wanted to do with all this. And like, I'm 31, so I've got to start really putting some blinders on here and just going for it. But that's the dream.
I don't think so. I don't think there's ever a max.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there are people, you know, Sidney Greenstreet started his acting career at 72 and was in the Maltese Falcon in Casablanca. So, you know, you can do
Oh
anything.
my God. Oh, you know what? And I'm trying to do more of that now. That's like the minute that you hit 30 or like in and around there, the farewell of the 20s, like there is a very crazy thing that happens to your head where you give a lot less fucks. You're like, not interested, don't have time for it. Your opinion does not matter to me. But it's really, you start going, shit, it's moving. This is really going forward. These years are coming. They're going. Like, what are we going to do?
You want to really not give a fuck? Cross the 50 line. Let me tell you how little fucks I give. People tell me about their problems and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah. You have Vic has literally no
Zero
fucks.
fucks. If you required a fuck to save your life, I am not the guy to look at it. There are no fucks here. None.
I can't wait for that metamorphosis to set in. I think the skin, like my chest plate's just gonna open and I will emerge as just this solid red devil that says, fuck you.
Exactly.
Like that's
And then like one last fuck will fly away.
yeah, one will fly, and then after that, I'm just gonna sit there like a gargoyle and scratch my ass in the center of Times Square. Hello.
Exactly. There is truly nothing more freeing than not giving a flying fuck what anybody says to you. There's
Right.
literally nothing more. Okay, good. I'm glad that's your opinion. Bye. You know?
Or like it's super essential when you're trying to, you know, chase shit for yourself that isn't necessarily accepted by the majority of people.
Yeah.
It's like what you
Yeah.
were saying when you were in Europe and that guy shamed you for being topless. It's like getting to that point where you're like, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm doing what makes me happy. Fuck you.
I mean, who touched you when you were a kid? Because that's
Yeah.
obviously the problem.
Yeah.
You know? It's
What's your problem with Bob's?
You know, a lot of the times there's a lot of shit that people have not investigated about their life and the kinds of reactions that it's caused them to have. Like, fuck, go internal, people. You're sitting at home, especially, I don't know when this will air, but you're in quarantine, most likely, or life's different. Take some time for yourself, you know?
Was it difficult for you to go from like performing nude to being filmed nude? Because I feel like a lot of women or a lot of people, male or female, have that. That's like the line you're like, ooh, you know.
Absolutely strange. It was a very different set of skills and pride and confidence in the way to express, because funny enough, you know, news anchoring, we still handle the news on Naked News, even though as I'm saying it, I'm unbuttoning, and Donald Trump today met with Russian officials to discuss the latest news. Like, I'm still like teasing you the whole way, but you have to deliver it so that people understand what the fuck you're saying to them. And being filmed, we have like an ass cam at the show. So there's
as opposed to a hero cam, you have an ass cam.
There's an ass cam that's just dedicated to your ass. And I prefer like a 2D presentation of myself where like, if I want to, you know, give you the front of me, I'll give you the front of me. If I want to turn around and give you the back, I give you the back. But to have to hold some kind of fucking positioning, some kind of, you know, structural composure that cocks the ass out, holds the tits up, tummy, reads the news, still moves. Like, there are some pins and knots that are in
When
this
I'm
guy.
posing my front, my ass does not look attractive at all.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
And it's in 4K, so you know you're seeing everything.
It's 4K, and like there's all these insane I don't even want to talk about the people on Reddit, but my God, did they read you to filth? Like, they love critiquing everything about the manicuring of the naked news, pubic hair.
Oh my God.
Right, because I've taken all of my month off. I haven't been on the show in a month. I'm going back on Monday, and I've grown a full bush.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Now, do I wear it on set or do I bail out last minute?
Go for it.
No, you go. Are there
Go.
any other Bush girls? I can't.
No.
Everyone's shaved, right? For the most
Everyone's
part.
shaved. There's like maybe a small little like there's a tiny landing strip, but not even a landing strip. It's like a fucking stiletto heel right into
Yeah.
A Hitler mustache.
No, it's like a
right?
super strip. I used to have one. It was like super, like there's no point. Like it looks like you missed.
Well, it also to me, it's like I have like longer lips there anyways. So if you're gonna draw a line, it just looks like they continue going down all the way. Deflated testicles or something. Like fucking no, I don't need to give you a fucking David Copperfield optical illusion of this giant pussy. It's already huge.
Yeah, it's right there. Here it is.
I think you should go full.
Go for it. Your Bush is back.
I'm into it.
Bush is back.
I mean, as a Bush girl myself, I am supportive of shit.
Well, like recently, the last couple days, I've actually been like looking up different people's bushes just to see. So like, yes, Dani, in recent days, I've been doing, Dani Daniels bush, Dani Daniels, DaniDailyBush.com. Like I've been doing it to make sure that, yes, this is what I want. And every time I see your bush, I'm like, fucking keeping it.
Well, I have long lips like you. I just like, I don't know, just.
Yeah, and
Give it a hat.
we need to show this shit if we're gonna, try and let other people feel normal about their bodies. That's a big thing. I am all for body modification, changes, tune-ups that you want to do. Go ahead. My face is full of it. But, end of day, there are natural parts of our bodies that are gonna look a little different if we haven't had anything done to make them that Barbie.
Perfection.
Little, I'm here to show what some fucking real pussy looks like, hennies.
Imperfection is sexy.
You were talking about Reddit. How do you deal with negativity? Because I feel like a lot of performers in the industry have to, it sucks when you show your most vulnerable self in a sense. As some people would say, you being naked, and then people on Reddit roasting like, oh, it looks like you're 3 months pregnant. Like, how do you?
I really try. I've never logged on to Reddit until like 7 months ago. Just didn't want to go there. Didn't care. I'd always heard about it. But I started looking up my own name, going through there, seeing what it is. Sure enough, one of the latest amazing threads that I saw under the Naked News Reddit was a ranking where they had viewers or Reddit members ranking the all-time ever cast of Naked News in order of favorite, best to last. Where do you think I was?
Oh no.
You should be favorite.
The very bottom.
Oh no.
Every fucking time. And of course I smoked 30 joints that night, really got in my feelings, felt horrible, was crying to a couple different people on the phone. And then I realized, stupid, you're a fucking adult. Tell them to fuck themselves. And the one thing that always brings me back forever and for always, and people should try this, I watch a little Drag Race. Seriously.
That's a really good idea.
Serious. You need to channel that inner superhero version of yourself, because I believe drag queens are superheroes, superhuman representations of whoever they are already. It's just, big, boosted, unapologetic. And I'll watch, couple episodes or, even 2 minutes and I'm feeling better already. I'm like, you know what? Fuck them.
That's a great, because they don't give a fuck.
No,
I wish I was as strong as them.
I used to do the PR for the largest drag event in New York City called Night of 1,000 Gowns.
Yes.
They do not give a fuck.
No.
And it was probably the most fun that I have had doing PR in my life. And my interns would all look forward to it because you never knew what was going to happen. Didn't know what was going to happen.
And that's just it. And it's like, it's this attitude. You have to have that attitude if you're going to pursue that art form. I mean, talk about a legacy of having to stand up against adversity, but you know, it's also part of the drag itself is being larger than life and promoting that and really just saying fuck you to those who say that's not for them or want to speak out against it. That's okay. And so that mindset, I've had a lot of years around drag queens and sharing dressing rooms with them. Some of my closest friends are queens. Canada's Drag Race just launched this year. And so I'm watching a bunch of friends battling it out, and it's weird, but it's, you know, you need to be aware of these places to go to feel better, and that's mine. Drag Race.
No, I'm gonna try that. It's like actually really, it's hard because we're on such a spectacle, and if one bad photo or one bad image or one bad moment, it's just you just get pulled through the ringer, and it's like there's days where I can handle it or anyone, and there's days where you're just like, I can't do it today.
It doesn't matter if a million people said something good about you. Just that one
asshole.
That's what I'm saying. It's that one fucking comment, and you really you gotta remind yourself, people, if you're being, you know, bullied or sent messages that like that's one person, they're a horrible loser of a human being, and that's not you. And hopefully they don't have access to you in the real world. Just let it go.
Yeah.
We did an episode of Dinner with Dani that had the guys on it, and Aaron Small Hands said, "You're commenting on my life. I win. Even if it's a negative comment, you're taking time out of your day to watch me. I win. I win."
I mean, think about it. It's like you know, that's what a compliment. I possessed your mind to the degree that it became an action and left your body. I took some of that ability from you. Because I captured you enough that you had to write to me. Like that's nature. I captured you that much that you
and they probably jerked off to you.
Yeah, no, you did. I know you did.
That's it. That's right. Exactly. You own the space in their head.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
That's it.
Don't let them own a space in yours.
Yep.
That's the
put that on a fucking t-shirt right now. Sell it at
I just have my Galileo t-shirt on now. So
I love it. I just saw it. Oh my God. That is genius. What a good pop culture shirt.
It's a great shirt. It's my Galileo.
Genius. Absolutely genius.
I love it. Do you want to do your questions?
We're time for my questions. You ready?
Yay!
You ready? So what's the most annoying question people ask you?
Most annoying question people ask me is if I'm gonna grow my hair out.
No, Jesus Christ.
Which
really?
hair?
Yeah, right.
You have the hair.
The other one. I get a lot of like, you'd be a lot prettier if you grew your hair out, or you know, if you had longer hair, it'd be more feminine. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Schmucks.
What's your favorite way to eat a potato?
Oh. I like a potato. I like cheesy scalloped potato. Big fucking mountain of them with lots of cheese.
I thought being Canadian, we were going to get poutine.
I know, right? Which is also incredibly irresistible. I mean, finger licking, lip smacking good. Absolutely. But I reach my fill at how salty it is after a while. It gets so salty. Oof.
Yeah, I understand. I get that. What would the title of your autobiography be?
This is my life. That's what it would be.
I love it.
Just nice and easy.
What's been the biggest turning point in your life so far?
Ooh, oh, I love this one. Biggest turning point. Fucking hell. Biggest turning point would be, honestly, I don't want to give Naked News that credit. I just can't give it to them, you know? But pursuing myself in that way, I wish I could tailor this into something really like cutting out white sugar, but the biggest turning point it would be investing in myself for that confidence to do what I do, and that being like, you know what, fuck laying back and letting yourself, fall into the mishmash, of whatever, following along. Make shit for yourself, make it happen. So probably working at that show, Candyland, that was probably a turning point, because quite honestly, like we got just so ugly, it was unbelievable.
And then you're like, everything else is easy.
Yeah, then it's all downhill from there.
That's
What are
it.
you most proud of?
Most proud of?
Yes.
Most proud of, I grew up going to the Toronto Film Festival for years. I was obsessed with it. I love the rush of going movie theater to movie theater, bumping into celebrities. Oh my God, the red carpet hustle and bustle. I fucking love that shit. And this past year, I worked the red carpet for TIFF and actually had a press spot. I was very far down in the line. But Naked News, I don't know who or how the fuck we got accepted to being on that press line, but we did. And I got the chance to hold a microphone that said I work for a show that, is nude, but I'm still a legit player in the game. And I had, I got to ask Christian Bale what it was like punching Matt Damon in the face for Ford versus Ferrari. And like, that to me was like a person with a nude, sexually open background is allowed to participate in this mainstream game. Thank you, I'm proud.
Yeah, and then people actually interviewed with you and didn't just walk by you. You know what I mean?
That's just it. It's like they weren't like, oh God, we have to avoid that. It says nudity something. What? No. Like they were there. They came by. I don't know how. I pulled it off and it was phenomenal. And I still have, of course, I have all the footage. And
of course,
I think that people don't realize like how, especially like when you are a sex worker, like when you're treated like everyone else, how much we appreciate it.
Absolutely. It really is. And that's such a beautiful thing, is like there are such simple ways to just bring a humanity to anyone who's touched a part of sex work. And it's just don't let the shame set in. But also then when you have a moment like me saying I got these huge mainstream interviews, like that to me was very affirming. It was either that at TIFF as most proud moment, or it was being, clearly I'm still rolling, or it was being the lead anchor for the Amber Rose Slut Walk 2 years ago. So
that's cool.
That was crazy, because when you're marching at the front of it with a series of, people that understand and accept and, are a part of a love and a change we want to see in the world, like that, it was just emotional as all fuck.
That's really
great.
cool. Yeah.
What takes up too much of your time?
Instagram.
You and everybody else that I asked that question.
Anyone said anything else?
And the Hitachi magic wand.
Yeah.
But that's not, that has a positive result. Instagram does not.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes I go to bed and I feel the bruise on my clitoris just going,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You're like, oh, I'm not gonna walk right for 3 days.
So you can dick down? No, I just Hitachi'd myself.
Oh, God. What is your favorite smell?
My favorite smell is, I really like patchouli.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I like earthy, musky yumminess, musky smells. I also like the smell of really wet, old, dark basements. I also love the smell of gasoline.
Yeah, gasoline.
Same.
Gasoline's a biggie. Yeah, gasoline's a biggie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that like musky, like after the rain. Oh yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Pretty much like how all of Scotland smells.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly.
Clearly, I need to go.
Oh yeah,
You do, you
definitely.
absolutely do. What gets you fired up?
Coffee and Matthew McConaughey and what gets me, knowing that I have a Botox or filler appointment. That gets me fired up.
That keeps you working.
Yes! Oh my god.
What do you wish you knew more about?
I wish I knew more about American history. I mean that. Being a dual citizen, growing up mostly in Canada, I had the option of taking an American history course and I didn't do it. And it's something that I'm trying to catch up with now, the more that I work, live, and pursue America. especially with the direction and the recent times of it, observing the history, being aware of where those connections happen throughout time. I need to brush up on it. That's where I want to get better.
I like that.
Great.
That's cool.
Final question. What's the one question you would want everyone you meet to answer?
Ooh.
I saw your like little mischievous like devil horns pop up.
Processors were going. They're like honestly, okay, I'll make it a good one, not like a crazy one. Describe your shit. No. The one question I would have for everyone would be, what do you want to be known for in this life? If you were known as famous for something, if you went down in the history books for something, if there was a catchphrase attached to your name and your life and legacy, like what do you want to be known for?
Love that.
That's great.
Right?
That's great.
Fun.
Shameless plug time. What are we plugging?
Okay, everyone, listen up. Okay, you need to get connected with me right here, right now. First of all, nakednews.com is where you're going to find all of my nude online hosting. If you find me on Instagram, it's Laura X Desiree, LauraXDesiree. And the link in my bio takes you to all of my uncensored, fabulous content there. Okay, it's on a platform called Fan Zone. So definitely check it out. Every Friday I host the Cam4 Happy Hour on cam4.com, where it's a crazy cam show, variety show, game show. It gets nasty, naughty, and absolutely out of control every Friday.
I love it.
Yes.
Sounds like fun.
Oh, and then your podcast.
Oh my God. Oh, it's such a new baby. Yes. My brand new podcast is called Licked and Loaded, and you can find it wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, iTunes. I know you want to look at it, though. I get it. I'm really hot. So go to YouTube, look up Licked and Loaded. You'll find it, moi. And there's even a very special episode with Miss Dani Daniels herself.
There you go.
Can you do all my promo for me?
Send me what you need. I'll give you a voice memo of options.
God, no wonder you're head anchor. It's amazing.
That's episode is up and live now?
That one's not live yet. What we did do is we launched episode 1, which has one of my favorite drag queens, Lady Bunny. That just came out on Thursday. Dani is, I believe, 2 more episodes. One and 2, and then Dani.
You're good.
This might actually come out around the same time.
We might be doing
So
that.
after you listen to this.
Oh my God. Let's arrange that. Let's do it.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll, it'll make sense.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Thank you for coming on. Oh, I didn't even plug. I was too excited about your stuff. Just go to Danny'sThings.com. It's got everything there. My OnlyFans is dailybush.com. And thank you guys for listening and liking and subscribing and leaving awesome comments. We don't take sponsors. This is completely free. We just do this for you guys and just to like promote my friends. Yeah. So
exactly. And buy my book.
And buy his book.
Exactly. She's doing my promo now too.
It's greasy from how much I sat with it with tanning oil this summer. It's just like, yes, get it today. Don't wait for it. Get it.
Exactly. Right on Amazon. Can't miss it.
Oh my gosh. When this is all over and done with and we can go outside, I would love to grab a drink in New York sometime.
Yeah.
It's on. Alert the authorities. We're taking over the patios.
I love it.
Sounds good to me.
All right, guys. Thank you for being on.
Thank you for coming on. See you soon.